States, and then, as I was saying, the narrative is that we tend to self-correct. There was slavery, but then there was abolition. There was suppression of women, and then there were two major waves of feminism and the women's suffragette movement. There was institutionalized white supremacy and segregation in the United States, and then there was the rise of the Civil Rights Movement and the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act in the 1960s. There was genocide and cultural annihilation of the Native Americans, and there has been progress on this ever since, actually, interestingly enough, Richard Nixon. Obviously, we have much work to do, but even now, when you see generations, many generations, standing off, and there's a rising consciousness, obviously, not only of reclaiming the wisdom of the Native American peoples, but of also owning and atoning for and making amends for the terrible transgressions which have been perpetrated against them. I've had a career for the last 35 years in the same kind of books, the same kind of spiritual and religious practice that so many people here I know are already familiar with. And a lot has happened in the last 35 years. When I first started my career, and I was talking about sort of just basics of Course in Miracles, universal spiritual themes, and so forth, audiences would be filled with people for whom these were like new ideas. But that is no longer true. The era of data collection is over. We've all read the same books now. We've all listened to the same tapes. So you don't come to hear someone like myself or any of the other authors or speakers in this realm and so much hear something that you don't already know. So audiences are not so likely to say, oh, I've never thought of that before, but they are very likely to say, isn't that interesting? That's exactly what we were talking about at lunch. Right? Because we're all downloading the same stuff, we're all getting it, we all know that. Well, now I think it's time for a next movement forward. People say to me all the time on this campaign, you've changed my life. And I said, I'm very grateful to hear that. Now, let's go change the world. Right.